Well, let's talk now to Harun Armagan, who's an analyst and a member of the governing AK party in Turkey. Thank you so much for being with us here on our programme. Your reaction, first of all, to what the leader of the PKK has been saying to the BBC.
Well, let me start by saying that, Matthew, that I'm very disappointed that with the biased nature of this package made by BBC, this guy is a terrorist leader and then who has bloods of thousands of people in his hand, and BBC is giving the oxygen of the publicity to this guy. I don't think that the same thing would happen to leaders of Al-Qaeda or ISIS. This will make us almost think that the BBC has turned out to propaganda channel of this PKK.
You know that's not true. I mean, it's not that long ago that you know that's not true. It's not that long ago there was a ceasefire and there were attempts to actually have peace talks with your own government. Now, just respond to what he is saying about the potential for more attacks.
Let me make this clear, Matthew. I don't think if the shoe was on the other foot, if the foot was on the other shoe, and in last 6 months, 600 British soldiers were killed by this guy, I don't think he would be given chance to speak on BBC.
You've made that point. You've heard what I've said.
He would be given this,
sure,
making this propaganda.
You've made that point. You've heard what I'm saying. Please engage in the issues here, which his warning of more attacks right across Turkey.
First, what he is saying is completely rubbish. This guy is a terrorist, and then he's killing civilians, policemen, and soldiers in Turkey. In the last 6 months, over 500 people, innocent people, lost their life because of this guy. And he is now making just propaganda. Turkey, like any other democracy in the world, is going to use its all power to protect its borders and, of course, civilians.
You say protect its civilians. I mean, since this crackdown was launched, there have been numerous attacks, and as you rightly say, numerous casualties amongst civilians and others. Isn't the truth that the authorities there cannot protect the ordinary Turkish person?
Look, Andrew, when we started peace process, when we were negotiating for peace, the PKK was actually carrying guns and storing bombs and training suicide bombers. And now they started to fight, they start to kill civilians in southeast of Turkey. And then all those people had to displace their places because the PKK was attacking civilians. They are attacking everyone, they are attacking everyone in the region. They are trying to create chaos. And of course, Turkish soldiers, Turkish security forces, and of course our government will not let that happen.
You've heard what the Turkish authorities have said. It's surrender or be neutralised. But also the Turkish government, you're looking at proposals to strip citizenship for supporters of Kurdish rebels. You're talking about changing the constitution, which would enable prosecutions of pro-Kurdish lawmakers. I mean, when you look at things like that as a response, is that not provocative?
When we look at the fight against terrorism, these are the common behaviors and way of strategies for any democracy in the world. Of course, we are going to fight against terrorism in any way we can. I think we are in a similar position with the other democracies in the world.
You are saying that you're going to fight the PKK, launch this new offensive and see it through right to the end. Is that wise, given how the PKK have been involved in the fight against so-called Islamic State? If you continue with this clampdown, doesn't it harm the fight against Islamic State?
Let's be fair here, that one terrorist organization is fighting to another terrorist organization does not legitimize the first organization. There is no such a thing as good terrorist or bad terrorist. Any terrorist organization is the same. It doesn't make any difference one fighting to other one, because terrorist organizations usually have conflict of interest. Therefore, we cannot make any differentiate between terrorists. We cannot choose a terrorist. Terrorist is a terrorist. ISIS has no difference than PKK.
Just a very quick, brief final thought, one sentence. Is this a fight with the PKK that you can win?
Turkish people will win against PKK. Turkish people have been fighting against terrorism since long. Whether it's ISIS or terrorist PKK or any other name, this nation will defeat terrorism, and of course we need the help of the international committee against Turkish fight against terrorism, because fighting against terrorism is not a local thing; it's a global thing, and then we have to all together stand united against terrorism.
Harun Amagan, thank you very much for being here on today's programme. Thanks.